All right, good stuff, good stuff. Happy I could come on here.
Yeah, I'm excited. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you
Um,
how do you say your name? Judy?
it's Juddy.
Juddy. Okay. All right, got it.
Yeah, I spell so like my real name is Judson, but like since I was born, everyone just calls me Juddy, Juddy.
Okay, got it. I
Yeah,
like the surfboards in the back there.
yeah. I usually have a helmet here, but this time I didn't because they're just spread out throughout the house,
Is
so I
that
couldn't.
art or is that like
These
for
surfboards?
yeah. Or are they
No,
like rideable?
they're like actual surfboards. We go
Uh,
surfing a lot. Yeah.
let's go.
Um. Well, I'll introduce you and we get into it. I'm pumped.
All right, let's do
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Lax Locker Room. Today we've got Miles du Bois on the show. Miles just graduated from Stevens and has become a huge name in the lacrosse content world. You might know him from his videos on social media or from working with guys like Mitchell Pelkey. We're going to talk about his playing college lacrosse, how he got into making content, some of the cool stuff he's gotten to do because of it, and what's next for him since college is over. Let's get into it, Miles.
there it
Start off,
goes.
thank you. Yeah, thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, of course, dude. Like that intro stuff took me so long to get good at. I mean, when I first started making content, I would do like 20 tries. You can ask all my hometown friends. That was pretty good.
Yeah, thank you. So to start off, for people who may know you from your social media, but not know your whole story, how did you first get into lacrosse?
Yeah, so lacrosse. Oh, so I started playing lacrosse like officially in third grade,
Mm.
but my siblings played lacrosse. So I have an older brother and older sister. So I was always like running around on their fields. I don't know if you have
Yeah,
siblings too.
yeah, I have three.
Yeah, are you the oldest?
Yeah, I'm the oldest one.
Okay, so I'm sure
But
your siblings are running around.
yeah, I mean, I have a 12-year-old sister who plays, and then a 10-year-old brother that plays, and then I have a 7-year-old sister, but she's not. She only plays fall soccer.
Okay, well that might change. She's young. She's young.
Yeah, yeah.
Your younger brother is supposed to be better than you because he's gonna follow in your footsteps. So
Yeah, he's a dog.
yeah,
When we play, we have this game called goalie out in our front yard, and it's
yeah.
basically I just shoot tennis balls on him, and he can make a couple of pretty nasty saves.
Like think about it. He's gonna learn everything that you know right now.
Yeah, that's
So
what my dad was saying. Yeah.
yeah. So like I got the advantage to have an older brother that played. My sister was a little bit more into it.
Uh,
She stopped after freshman year, but they're 29 and 28, so they're a lot older than me. So I was running around on their fields when I was a kid. Had like a fiddle stick.
yeah,
Signed up third grade, and yeah, just haven't looked back since. And it's kind of crazy to say now my career's over, but I just
yeah,
being a part of the sport with this content stuff. So
yeah, for sure. So I know that you grew up in Ridgewood, New Jersey. When did
yeah.
playing college lacrosse become a real goal for you?
Oh, honestly, like Ridgewood is such a powerhouse town in lacrosse.
Yeah,
Obviously, they won the TOC 2023, the year after I left. So it's definitely like one of the biggest things here, and everybody here like that plays lacrosse definitely wants to take it to the next level. So I would honestly say like in second, third grade when I first started playing, I looked up to guys like Miles Jones and stuff. So
yeah.
I always saw myself going to play college lacrosse. Like, I mean, I have photos of me when I was a kid wearing Notre Dame and Duke stuff. And yeah, I think from the very start, I knew that I definitely wanted to keep playing it in college. So,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
So, kind of going off that, like, what was your recruiting process like? Because from most of the people I've talked on, everyone's has been kind of different in their own ways. So,
Yeah.
what was yours like?
Yeah. I mean, the recruiting landscape for me was a little different because obviously I'm really short. And my class got mainly recruited off of like film because it was COVID.
Yeah.
So like right away, just like being 5'6", I wrote down 5'7", but I'm
Okay.
I'm 5'6", like 155 pounds at the time. I definitely struggled getting a lot of looks in the start. Then after that was going into junior year, so that would have been like the D1s and stuff. And then going into senior year summer, the D3s really started to reach out, and it was more in person, right? Because COVID kind of lifted. I want to say that was 2021. So we were getting looks like in person, which helped. And yeah, so the D1s, I kind of looked at like the lower end D1s, but my mom would say, like the academics are the most important part. and I definitely
Right.
wanted to go to the best academic school possible. And I knew that at like the lower end Division 1 level, like the academics really aren't there at a lot of those schools. So the D3 route just like made so much sense. And I wanted to try to get to like a NESCAC or just a high institution, and started to get looks from like, schools like Babson and Bowdoin, Swarthmore, but I didn't have a 4.0 or anything. So I knew schools like that weren't going to really work out. I got like academically pre-read at Bowdoin and Babson, but I didn't pass those because I only had like a 3.4 GPA. It
Yeah.
was test optional. So then I ended up like hating the process. It kind of like fell through because I really saw myself at those two schools. Um, and then eventually I'm at like my last showcase, and it was called the Committed Combine. I don't know if they still do it.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think they do.
Or
I've
not
heard
the
of it.
Committed Combine. It was that I want to say it was that same company, but it was called Iron 44 Combine or something. The Committed Combine's a different thing. It was
Okay.
like Iron 44 Combine or something. I forget exactly what it was called. I don't even think they're still around anymore. But it was in Jersey, and it was like a bunch of just Jersey players and like Northeast players, nothing too crazy. And it was Coach Tui who saw me on the sideline there, and he was from Stevens, and it was like I want to say late July because it was like coming to the end of tournament season,
Yeah.
and he reached out, and I got academically pre-read at Bowdoin and Babson and didn't get in. I was like, no way, I'm getting into Stevens, right? Like this school
Right.
is so good. Like I think I'm just gonna apply to schools in the fall, and I'm like, hey, like, is this actually an option? Like, am I gonna get through? And he's like, more likely than no. So then I was like, all right, cool. I'll come to campus. It's not very far. It's only like 45 minutes from me.
Yeah.
My mom and I, we did a trip there, just a quick day, like, and visited and everything. And the next day or 2 days later, they called and asked me if I wanted to commit there. So uh, didn't look back, and obviously took that opportunity.
Yeah.
It was
That's awesome. That's
awesome.
awesome. Yeah, and Stevens is a great school. It's definitely one of the higher end
Yeah,
D3 schools. That's
yeah,
like when I think of D3, I'm like Steven, Salisbury, like all those like that's a great school. I would not be upset going to Stevens because I know it's a great school and I know other people that have been there and have had awesome experiences. So
yeah. That's
that's
crazy because
awesome.
like when I was your age, Stevens was not really like a thing. Like I didn't know about Stevens coming from Jersey. It was so close.
Yeah.
I didn't really hear about it until like my junior year when I started looking into schools.
Yeah.
And there was a kid on my high school team that was in the grade above me that committed there. I was like, what is this school? And I looked into it then. But that's funny that you're what, in seventh, eighth grade?
Yeah, eighth grade. This was my first day of school today, so eighth grade,
Oh
yeah.
wow. Good for
Yeah.
you. Good for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, eighth grade. I didn't know what Stevens is, so I'm happy that you know what that is. That's clutch.
Yeah. Well, I think most of it is probably from your videos. That's
Let's
probably where I
go.
got it from the most.
Thank
Um,
you. Yeah.
yeah. But also, the recruiting process was kind of like shot from the beginning because, COVID like did not help at all. Because
Yeah.
coaches, film only can do so much. Like
Oh yeah.
you can't really define a person by watching actual film, and it's that I feel like just took away a big portion. But in
Yeah.
the end, things worked out for the greater, ending up at
Yeah,
Stevens.
exactly.
So
Yeah, no regrets ever. So I'm very
yeah,
happy about where my career ended up.
absolutely. So take me back to the first step on Stevens campus. What was going through your head, and what were you feeling when you first got there?
Like when I was like going on that
When
day,
you when yeah when you were going
when I
up, no,
was
no,
like my
like when
first day of
you
school.
yeah, first day of school.
First day of school. Oh God, my memory's pretty chalked, but let me think. First day of school. Actually, I do remember because we had a pizza date, I guess you could say, with like my class and our head coach.
Yeah,
It was 18 commits in my class, which was a lot. Um, and we all met up at Gio's, which is not there anymore in Hoboken. There's a pizza spot that was right on like near campus. But I just remember being so nervous going to that, and
yeah.
I was lucky enough to have I want to say like 9 to 10 kids from Jersey, and
Okay.
at that point,
Yeah.
like we had already kind of met each other and whatever.
Right.
Like obviously, it's so different when you're like seeing the coaching staff and whatever. Like wow,
Right.
this is real. So that was pretty nerve-wracking. And then I want to say when my mom left, I was definitely like, wow, this is real. Like
Yeah. Right.
college. But yeah, I would say like it was pretty surreal, and I'm happy everything worked out with being comfortable with those guys from Jersey, and honestly,
Right.
staff was like super welcoming and everything, so everything ends up working out.
Yeah, no, also, like you said, having the kids from Jersey, like that can only help you like a ton
Yeah,
because,
exactly.
you have people that you can like talk to and you're
Yeah,
not just a kid in the corner. So,
yeah,
it,
exactly.
what's the biggest misconception younger players have about playing Division 3 lacrosse?
I would say honestly, like a couple years ago, I would say it's different, but now I think more and more people are understanding what Division 3 lacrosse is, like
Yeah,
how big it really is, just because of like social media. I think the Lacrosse Network does a good job of like highlighting like how good some of the play is, and
right.
see with like the sideline videography, like that's something that I do myself.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like that type of like reach that D3 is getting with like social media, I think helps it a lot. And I would say like 10 years ago when that really wasn't as big of a thing, like no one's clicking into like the tough stream. You know what I mean? Like no one's really watching
right,
D3 like going out of their way. But now with social media, people I think do kind of understand. And like even you would probably know like there's levels to D3. Like
right.
like
Yeah,
if you're looking at the top 20 schools, like those teams can compete at the Division 1 level.
right.
As if you go down to like I want to say there's 250 plus Division 3 schools. If you go down into that like bottom 100, those schools are not very good. And
Yeah,
like it's you're still a college athlete, and like that's super cool. But like they're nowhere on par with like where Stevens is, Tufts,
right,
Barry,
right,
and you know what I mean, those type of schools. So
right.
I would say I think a lot of people are starting to understand that. I would assume that you would know that.
Absolutely. And
But yeah.
yeah, and I also think the PLL has honestly done a great job with
Yes.
promoting
Yeah.
D3. And one of the things I think of that is, like Kyle Lewis on the Water Dogs.
Yeah.
Uh, he
The
came from
boy.
Adelphi.
The
Like,
D2 ledge.
yeah,
Let's
like
go.
people are understanding like that. Division 1 isn't where all athlete like lacrosse athletes
Exactly.
are made. Like, and
Yeah.
the PLL has done a great job, and like the Water Dogs overall have just done a great job of putting like Kyle Lewis in because his,
I know.
his first goal was a behind the back. I mean,
Yeah.
in the PLL, like
Us.
it doesn't get much better than that, and like more people will understand that like there are athletes in Division 3, and
Oh,
if
absolutely.
like if you don't understand that like now, then like I don't know what you're doing. You should probably just quit lacrosse.
I like that. Let them
Yeah,
know. Let them
yeah,
know.
for sure. And Adelphi's a great school too. I would not be mad at going until Adelphi either because I
Yeah.
actually talked with Kyle Lewis and he was
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah,
D2's got some ballers too, man. But
yeah,
same thing, if you go down to the bottom, like
yeah,
I want to say there's 75 or around there D2 schools, like
yeah.
you go to those bottom 40 schools, they're not very good.
No,
Right.
right.
Like
And
in
but yeah, but if you're like you said top 20 for D3, your team is gonna you're gonna be a stud. But
yeah.
it just kind of all ends up where you are. If you're not really interested or as much into lacrosse and you want to go to a better academic school, I'm sure there's D3 schools that aren't as
Yeah.
good as lacrosse but really good at academics, and
Oh,
that's just
100%. I mean, MIT, they're, I want to say like a 40
yeah,
school in D3 lacrosse.
yeah,
Obviously, they can't help you that much to get in, but
right,
that's one of the best institutions in the world, right?
right,
So
right.
there is a place for everybody if you can
Absolutely.
get those grades up, right?
Yeah, for sure. Um, uh, so I know you had a crazy 9-point game as a sophomore, 4 goals and 5 assists. What do you
Yeah.
remember about that game? And did you know did you know that during it you were having that kind of night?
Yeah, so I think that like obviously my college career wasn't like crazy. It wasn't a starter every year and whatever, but I got in the mix a couple of games. Like I said, D3 there's levels to it, right? So like there
Right.
are games like that was against Del Val, Delaware Valley. They're probably in the bottom 100 to bottom 50.
Yeah.
So like they're not very good. So I knew I was probably going to get in that game. And yeah, I mean I went out there and guess who was at that game? You got to
Who?
give me a guess.
Okay. Miles Jones.
No, Lax Guy Scotty, close enough.
Lax Guy Scotty. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So he was there. That was what, my like sophomore year, I think. Yeah, sophomore year. Lax Guy Scotty's in the stands. I'm like, usually it's really hard. Like I was always really bad at playing down to level. Like I don't know if you've experienced this in your lacrosse journey or whatever.
Does that mean like you're a way better team and you see you're playing a way worse team
Yes.
and
Yeah, yeah.
like you
And,
get
like
too cocky?
hypothetically,
Yeah,
like, you're playing a bad team, right?
right.
And like the guy in front of you is a duster and the goalie's a duster.
Yeah,
You're gonna be like, I mean, it's not, it's like inadvertent. Like you're not meaning to do it, but
right,
your level of play almost goes down because the competitive level's down. And like
right,
I've been a competitive guy my whole life, and in games like that, I usually didn't do very well because I'm like, wow, the other team is so bad. I'd be the best player on that team by far.
right,
You know what I mean?
right.
I'd be Del Val's leading history, everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
A backup playing them, so it's like whatever. But Lax Guy Scotty's in the stands. I'm like, I need to play well. He's here watching the.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just like let it fly, and obviously the stick was hot, and played pretty well, and that was a lot of fun to do that with the boys. So
Yeah, he seems awesome.
yeah,
I'm planning to interview him. Yeah, and
God,
I've seen just some of his content, and I think he seems like a really awesome dude.
great dude,
And
great.
just what he's done for lacrosse,
Yes,
also.
exactly. I'll put in a
Um,
good word. I'll make sure he gets on here next.
okay, all right, thank you. So for a middle school or high school player who isn't getting recruited by the huge D1 programs, why should they be excited about D3 lacrosse?
Uh, I mean, D3, like, I would say the biggest difference for D1 and D3 is the fall. So, like,
Mm,
fall lacrosse at the Division 1 level still feels like a full-time job, whereas
mm,
at the Division 3 and the Division, I want to, D2 might be similar to D1. D3 is like definitely different than D1, but I don't know
okay,
about D2. The D3 fall is way laid back compared to that. We had, I want to say, like 20, 25 practices in the fall.
okay,
Like the D1s are having 20-hour weeks in the fall.
right,
So that's like the biggest difference. So if you want to have like a good college experience and really be able to be like a student as well, and like I was lucky enough to be able to travel. I went abroad. I went to Barcelona my junior year. I would
yeah.
visit my friends on weekends in the fall and go have fun at big schools and do whatever. You know what I mean? And I would
Right,
go have fun and, not really worry too much about lacrosse. While
right,
in the spring it is obviously very similar. It's probably
right,
just the same depending on where your Division 1 is. If you go to Notre Dame, you got to travel a lot, but
right,
it's very similar to like a school like Fairfield in the spring.
right.
So, I mean, what was the question again?
It was for a middle school or high school player who isn't getting
Oh yeah, yeah,
recruited
to
by
be
the
excited.
yeah,
To be excited, like I mean, I would just say if you want to be a student and like really embrace yourself into like the immerse yourself into like college, I would say D2, D3 is definitely like a good option.
yeah, for sure. Especially like some people just aren't fit for having that many practices a week, and
Yeah.
and the good thing is the coaches will see that early on. Like they won't recruit you if you're not ready for that.
I
And
mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean that's for sure. Like there's definitely different things that different people want to do different
right,
things for. So like we had guys on our team that definitely had those offers and definitely could have played at the Division 1 level.
yeah,
They said, I want to go to school and I want to
right,
focus on engineering. And like I
right,
want to put myself into engineering and I still love lacrosse, but that's my thing. Um,
right,
like that those guys still like loved it and they still did a
yeah,
good job on the field, but they wanted to focus a little bit more on engineering than on lacrosse. And at the Division 1 level they wouldn't have been able to do that. But
right.
you know what I mean?
And
They still could have if they wanted to. You know
right.
what I
And
mean?
also and like you said, like the traveling and getting to see your buddies on the weekends, that makes lacrosse more fun, I feel like, when you get those types of breaks. If you're going
Yeah.
out lacrosse like all the time, it's fun, but
Yeah.
you kind of over time you'll get like burnt out and it
Yeah.
kind of just takes away all the fun out of it.
Yeah, you'll
Uh,
definitely see it at the next level. It becomes way less of like
yeah.
a fun thing and more of a job. You'll see it even in high school when you're playing every day. It changes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So now that you've graduated, what does a normal day actually look like for you?
well, right now I'm kind of all over the place because I'm like applying to jobs. But
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to be able to like technically be working with this social media stuff throughout college. So I'm not like really too pressed to get onto a job, and I've been like having a good time this summer and
Yeah.
out with friends and applying as as fast as I want to go right now, and
Right.
I haven't really been going too crazy. Like I'm going on a trip to Spain next week, and then when
Mm,
I get back from that, I'm gonna have to really lock in and start finding some jobs. So
yeah.
yeah, but I've been working out. I still love to work out, and like today, I ran today and did a 5K because my gym was closed. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, so I did that, and I still sometimes pick up the stick, the little like Hackey's lacrosse stick. I'll mess
Yeah.
with that, and yeah, like I'll apply to jobs, and I'll work on some social media stuff over here, and that's kind of what the day looks like. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. What type of things do you want to do? Like, what type of jobs do you want to do?
Yeah, I mean, so obviously the social media marketing role would be like perfect fit just because
Yeah.
like my resume is my portfolio.
Uh,
You'd think that it would be easier to get a job, but it's
yeah.
actually really hard right now, and I have not found anything yet. So yeah,
Okay.
social media marketing role, but now I'm starting to look into like some other things and potentially not staying in this area just to like widen out the job search.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I've been only looking in like the metropolitan area, but
Okay.
I'm gonna start kind of looking other places and stuff. So
Okay. Yeah, for sure. When did you realize your lacrosse content was actually starting to take off? And was there a video that changed everything?
I mean, yeah, right away it was the Division 1 versus Division 3 challenge. That was my senior year winter. I did a video with one of my buddies, Will Messinio, who was on my team, and that was like the first video to really blow up for me.
Mm.
Uh, it was like I wanted to say Christmas Day. It was Christmas Day that I posted it, and it was a
Okay.
7 day challenge. So I was trying to post every day, and it was like the second or third day, and it just blows up. It's starting to get like thousands of views. I've never seen like anything like it. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this social media thing is so fun. Like once you hit that like blow up video, you're like chasing
Yeah.
the rest of the time. And once that happened, like you get some conviction and you're like, wow, I can do this. Uh,
Right.
I that was like the video for me that did that. And ever since then I've been chasing views like that. So it
Yeah. What's your most viewed video?
it was going undercover. That one did like 1 million views on YouTube, but
Wow. That.
not just on YouTube or YouTube.
What about like on Instagram or TikTok?
Yeah, TikTok, I want to say it was this video that I did in the fall, this fall. It was I was like talking to the camera before my buddies and we had like a presentation and we were going up on stage to like some venture capitalists trying to sell like this business idea for our senior design project.
Yeah.
And I like just was nervous with my buddies. We were like sitting there, I'm like we're going up on stage presenting in front of VCs, blah, blah, blah. And I guess like I looked like whitewashed or whatever. So the comment section was going crazy and it did like 6.7 million views.
Wow.
Like it was last time I checked around there. And it had like over 10,000 comments, I want to say. So
That's crazy.
I know,
Yeah.
yeah, that was crazy. But that was definitely the biggest video eyeballs wise, I want to say.
Yeah, my most viewed video was like 85,000 and it was an
Okay.
ice bath video. So I did last winter I did a ice bath challenge where I like every day I try to get more ice bath. Like I
Okay.
went longer and longer and all those
Nice.
videos got like over 50,000. Like it
And
was
like, don't you want
crazy.
to just chase that? Isn't that like
Yeah.
it becomes
Yeah.
like addicting? You're like, how can I do this again? How can I do it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and that's just like the strategy, like my like actual podcast videos, like they kind of sit around like the 10,000 or a little higher mark.
mhm.
And it's crazy how like the other videos that
Yeah,
aren't even about my podcast have gotten way more. Like
yeah. I mean,
one,
you gotta look at it and see like the biggest thing with social media is you want to repeat your content, right?
right.
So like social media, they want to feed you the same thing, just a little bit different.
Yeah.
If
Like I
you're
did
able
a
to do that,
yeah.
uh,
I did a video in Princeton with one of my buddies, and we came up with 3 plays, and
okay,
that video got like 75.7K or something.
yeah.
And I don't even know how it did it, but it did. And
So then try to replicate it. You find
yeah,
it, find what works, and then keep doing it.
yeah, and and then the followers will go with it.
Yeah,
I'm sooner or later I want to try and hit 10,000. That's the goal at least right
10K.
now. Yeah.
On IG or on TikTok too.
On IG.
Yeah,
TikTok, it's so hard to grow followers. I don't know how. Like, I basically post on Instagram, then download the video, and then post on TikTok. But
Okay.
it just like doesn't get as much reach. I don't know why.
Wait, so how are you doing that? Go through that process again.
So basically, I will post a video on Instagram, and if
Film
I
on
don't, what?
film on your phone.
Yeah, I film my phone, and then I do some editing, just like
Edit on
through.
what?
I edit it on either edits or I do just like crop the video.
That's Instagram's platform, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is one thing that I'll teach you. So like
Okay,
something called like metadata.
okay.
What that is.
No.
So metadata is essentially like it's like the process of the video being done in certain places. I'm
Okay.
not like too sophisticated when it comes to this, but like I know that deep down in your phone it knows, okay, this was made on Instagram, right?
Right.
So when you process that video and you transfer it to TikTok, TikTok sees that as like downloaded from Instagram and sees like the metadata and it
Yeah.
sees that it was coming from a different like platform and it
Uh-huh.
push your video as hard.
Okay.
If you're ever trying to cross post, make sure you do it in a third party editing platform and
Uh-huh.
put it in the next platform. So like
Okay.
for example, I'll use CapCut, Final Cut Pro.
Yeah.
From there, download it from there and then post it to individual platforms. Don't edit with edits.
Okay. Okay. But only for TikTok. But Instagram, I can use edits, right?
For Instagram, you could use edits. If you're like, I don't want
Okay.
to cross post this, then
Yeah.
do. But I would say if you want to cross post, then
Yeah.
do your editing on other platforms and then
Okay. That's
upload
good to
to other
know.
platforms.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, some people like, who Cash McCran is?
Yeah, of course. I met him
Yeah.
actually the other day. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He has like 12,000 on TikTok, but like not as many as that on Instagram. Like I think it's like 5,000. And I just don't know how that works either.
So that's like algorithmic, right?
Yeah.
So the algorithm on TikTok is going to be obviously a little bit different than Instagram, and
Yeah.
Instagram wants to push like a little bit more higher quality content, whereas I want to say TikTok pushes more like relatable, like face to like camera content does well.
Right.
So for Cash, that's kind of his niche, and that niche would work
Yeah.
better on TikTok. So it does make sense on why TikTok would be bigger for him than Instagram, right?
Right. Yeah. And then, like Connor Rack, he kind of does the same thing as Cash, just he
Yeah.
does it he does like the stereotypes on
Yeah.
Instagram and he has like 41,000 and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so I would say for like Instagram, like people are just scrolling, right? So
Right.
both platforms, like followers aren't everything. I would say look more at like that average view count and like from the
Yeah.
creator end, you can see like the retention and stuff.
Mm.
So I would say like that obviously nowadays is more important. Like I don't know if you know who Gary Vee is.
No, I don't think so.
So he's like a business guy and he was like an early social media adopter. And he says that social media is no longer social media, it's like
Mm.
interest media.
Right.
So social media when I was a kid, when I was your age, it was more like your friends are who are posting and that's your feed.
Right, right.
But now it's you'll get anything that you're interested at that time. So like right
Right.
now I'm getting a bunch of like fish fillet content. So like people
Okay.
playing fish.
Yeah.
Because like I interacted with a couple of those videos because I went fishing and I think it's interesting and now that's interest, right? So now Instagram is pushing me that interest.
Okay.
A bit
Yeah, for
more of like
sure.
interest media than like social media, if that
Okay.
makes
Yeah, that makes that makes sense for sure.
yeah.
Um um what was the first creator you saw that made you say I want to do that too?
I want to say honestly probably like Paul Rabel
Okay. Yeah.
because he was like one of the first ones that I was watching and then I want to say like Jesse James West was next on the scene.
Okay.
This is when I was like your age again, like seventh, eighth grade. Like these are the guys that I was watching. Logan Paul, I was watching him a lot when I was your age. He was doing like his vlogs and stuff. Casey
Yeah.
Neistat. Those are a lot of the guys that like inspired me when I was younger to like even pick up a camera and like mess around. Obviously, like it didn't work out right away. I didn't start posting like viral YouTube videos or anything.
Yeah.
But I would like I had an interest in social media at that time because of those guys. So I would say yeah, those guys were a real inspiration. And
Okay.
Lacrosse Network because it was Colin Samir back then.
Yeah.
I don't know if you even have you watched any of that? Oh,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know who runs it though. I don't know who runs Lacrosse Network.
well, now it's different guys, but when I was a kid,
Yeah,
it was Colin and Samir. They were making the content. They started the
yeah,
Lacrosse Network,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I would watch those vlogs and stuff. So,
yeah. Yeah, the vlogs are good for sure. Did your teammates ever give you a hard time when you were filming content, or are they all used to it by now?
well, by now I think like my senior year, everyone was kind of used to it. Obviously,
Yeah.
then it took a little bit of adapting. But my freshman year was a little different, right? Like I'm coming into campus, trying to make YouTube videos and putting cameras in people's faces and stuff. Obviously, like my seniors and juniors, the upperclassmen were like, "Who is this kid making content and doing whatever?" And like I talked to my buddies about it this year. I was like, I couldn't imagine these freshmen coming in and like starting to like make content and like put a camera in my face. I feel like that'd be crazy, and I was
Yeah,
the easy one to do it. So, yeah, when I think the older I got, the more people got used to it. So,
yeah, for sure. What's one video that you posted that completely surprised you on how well it performed?
oof. I could say that D1 versus D3, but I want to give you a better answer. Um, does it have to be YouTube?
It can be anything.
The Instagram stuff is so hard to remember because there's just like so many hundreds of videos that have been.
Yeah,
But I want to say, I mean, the undercover one's a good one. Uh,
yeah,
like I saw that ESPN was doing it, and I was like, wow, like this is such an easy concept for me to be able to do because I was going to a lacrosse tryout in North Carolina, and my boy RJ, who hired me for that, was
Oh yeah,
super down to for me to do it. And he was like, "Yeah, you should definitely do it, and we'll set it up, and we'll tell the coaches and not tell the kids." And I knew it was going to be a viral video because of like the concept. You can kind of tell when a video is super good like that. But it definitely shocked me. Like 1 million views, like is a lot of views on YouTube, right?
yeah.
So that was definitely a shocker for sure.
Okay, yeah. What's something about content creating that people on the outside completely misunderstand about?
I would say this is a good question, actually. I would say like people think that it's way more like deep than it is. I think that like content creation is mostly just 50% of the battle is just like doing it. And like I know everybody has like the idea of like, hey, I should start doing this, but then they never go into fruition with it.
Right.
Like you were able to do it and have the confidence to put your face out there, and that's great. And like I was the same, right? Like it's super hard at first,
Yeah.
and um but I think that barrier to entry is definitely like the biggest misconception that people think like it's really
Right.
not that deep. Just go in and do it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Um, what's one video idea that you've had in your head but still haven't posted because you're waiting for the right time?
Huh. I've been pretty like creators blocked when it comes to like the YouTube videos. I do love like doing like a documentary style video.
Yeah.
But like you need capital to be able to do that, right? Like you need money to be
Yeah.
able to do like really high level videos like that. Um, but yeah, I've definitely thought of like some documentary videos that like I would need capital and access to go do, but
Right.
I haven't been able to do it because of those two barriers. So
Yeah.
see, maybe if I get some money one day,
Okay.
we'll get
Yeah.
documentary style video or something.
Yeah. How much of the content creation you do is planned versus saying I have to do this and just go film it?
So I would say for it that definitely depends on platform.
Mm,
I would say TikTok, a lot of it just pick up the camera and just not planned, whatever, go do it. And then for YouTube, it's obviously extremely planned. I would say like 95% of creators that make YouTube videos, they use
yeah.
AI in their workflow prior to even like making videos, right?
Right.
Like the plannedness of YouTube videos is super important. You need to be able to make your intro, you need to be able to do your hook, thumbnail, and that's even before you get like the full story thought out, right? Those things are
Right.
super important. So I would say it depends on the platform, but yeah, YouTube super planned, TikTok less planned, Instagram kind of a mix in the middle.
Okay. Yeah. For sure. Um, So if you had $1,000 and 24 hours to create the craziest lacrosse video ever, what are you doing and who are you hiring?
Well, $1,000 in this day and age actually is not crazy,
Mm.
crazy a lot. But if you gave me like 100,000, 10,000, can I do?
Okay, yeah, 10,000. Do 10,000.
All right, 10,000. If you gave me $10,000, I would probably get as many like D1 lacrosse players and have them compete for the money. And I would probably do like $5,000 giveaway and then put 5,000 into the video. I would
Yeah,
have, like the best videographers I could get, and I would do a competition like the video that I did every level in lacrosse competes for 500.
yeah,
Would love to 10x that and do every level in lacrosse plays for 5,000 or compete
yeah,
for 5,000.
for
But
sure.
at
That'd
like
be a,
Division 1 and like I would do Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, club and pro. That's what I would do.
okay. Yeah, for sure. I'd have to be one of those guys. I would totally do it.
All right, I like the sound of that.
Okay. How did you first meet Mitchell Pelkey, and how did that eventually turn into working together on the Mitchell Pelkey Lacrosse Show?
Yeah, so I met Mitchell my senior year. I was actually lucky enough to have James Hogan, and I don't know, you know James, right?
Yeah, I know James. Yeah,
Yes, he's like his right hand man, right? So
right.
James Hogan went to college with Mitchell, and I'm actually best friends with James's little brother John.
Mm.
So John Hogan and I have been best friends since like seventh, sixth grade, and his I obviously knew James growing up, and they ended up going to school together. And I had like obviously watched Mitchell when I was like younger, like
Right,
freshman, sophomore year of high school. I didn't make lacrosse content yet, but
right.
he was older than me, so he was making content at the time, and I definitely like looked up to that, and he eventually put me in contact with him once I made like a couple YouTube videos my senior year,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's how we got put together. And then for the lacrosse show, I want to say Mitchell called me like sometime in my sophomore year of college, and he,
Okay.
yo, like we're doing the show, would love to have you on, and I ended up being able to do it, and yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah,
yeah,
Mitchell. He's definitely. If someone were to ask me like if I could have anyone on my podcast, he would probably be number one because I feel like the reach that I could get from like
yeah,
from him coming on would
mhm,
be like insane because I've watched Mitchell Pelkey since I've literally gotten into lacrosse, and I
really,
just like I wouldn't even have to write a single question. I could
go,
freelance the whole thing, and
yeah, you go video by video.
yeah, I would ask him every question possible. Like
Oh,
he would be the person you should put in a good word.
I will.
Okay.
I'll let him know next time I see him.
Okay, all right. Um, Mitchell was one of the first lacrosse players to show that you could turn lacrosse and content creation into a career. What's the biggest thing you learned from being around him?
I would say honestly, like his work ethic. He like
Mm.
works really hard, and I was able to see that when I was younger, and how much really goes into like a YouTube video.
Yeah,
Like I didn't like you're never really on a set of a YouTube video until you go with like a YouTuber, right? So
right.
he was the first YouTuber that I like saw at the professional level that was like putting in all this time and effort into his videos. And yeah, I would say like that was probably the biggest thing that I took away from Mitchell.
Yeah, for sure. And I talked to who did I talk with? I talked to someone recently, and I asked him, is he as high energy as he is off camera? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, he gets tired. I mean, everyone gets tired, right?
Right,
He usually is like pretty high energy, but like I said, he works really hard. So like at the end of the
right.
day, like if he's winding down, like I've been in those type of places with him and like just chilling on the couch, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I know
Well,
Mitchell pretty
yeah,
well. Yeah.
he puts so much like effort into everything that
Yeah,
like
exactly.
he has to get tired at some points because
We all get tired. He's human.
yeah,
He's human. Don't
yeah,
worry.
he's human.
But
Yeah.
he is energetic. Definitely
Yeah.
energetic guy.
What's Mitchell like when the okay, we just if you could go back to the 14-year-old Miles, what would you tell him about lacrosse and that he wouldn't believe?
I mean, 14-year-old me was freshman in high school, so I would say like he would not believe that I made content.
Mm,
I would say like I mean it was definitely always in the back of my head.
yeah.
I wanted to be able to like at the end of the day I love to tell stories. So like being able to do that on like a digital platform would be so cool to 14-year-old Miles, right? And obviously the college lacrosse thing was cool, but I always knew that like I wanted to do it, and then by the time I was 14, I probably knew I was going to do it.
Right.
Didn't know the level, but I knew that like I definitely was going to be able to play the college
Mhm.
lacrosse. So
Yeah.
I would definitely say that like the social media aspect, he'd definitely be more shocked about for sure.
Okay. Yeah. If you could design your dream job 5 years from now, what would you be doing?
I mean, dream job would definitely be able to keep doing this, right? Like
Mm,
content creation is definitely
yeah.
my passion. I don't know if you could see, but I just love like everything
Yeah.
with like metrics and how to like optimize and stuff. So I would say content creation, if I was able to keep doing this in 5 years, that would be really cool. And but we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm actually I'm like on the like Hackies ambassador program or whatever,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
I like this was kind of like the first time that I've gone like legit paid,
Okay.
because someone, I don't know who it was, but someone used my code to buy Hackies, and
No
you
way.
get like the 10%. So that was pretty cool for me because it's like you get paid for what you're doing, and
Yeah. Welcome
it
to the creator economy.
yeah, it was cool.
That is really cool. That's a good first step. I
Yeah,
remember that first paycheck that I got from Google my senior year, and it was like $150 or something, and it was like the
yeah.
craziest thing. I was like, oh my God, I'm getting paid from YouTube. Like,
Yeah.
nuts.
How does it work with YouTube?
Yeah, so they do it obviously differently than like a normal like brand partnership. It's
Right.
they pay based off of like ad space. So like
Okay.
obviously YouTube has ads and those ads will pay you, right? So it's like I could get more analytical into it with like CPMs and RPMs, but um the essentially the longer somebody watches your video, the more you get paid by the ad like the ads, right? So like you
Okay.
which who's owned by Google, right?
Right.
So Google will pay you based off of how long and how many people are watching your video.
Okay.
Nobody truly knows what that algorithm is. YouTube has always kept that like secret.
Yeah.
But we do know that that is like the main two things and like the type of viewer. So like if you're in like a different niche, like it depends on your niche, right? So if you're in like the finance space, there's a lot of people that want to advertise to those people that are watching, right? So those consumers
Right.
are going to be high net worth people, right? So like if I'm a bank, I want to advertise to those people.
Right.
Like that CPM, which is essentially how much money you're going to make per thousand views, is going to be a lot higher than if you're doing like partying content, right? Because
Right.
no real like if you have an insurance company, you don't want to advertise to people that go party, right? So
Right. Right.
it just depends on
Yeah.
the like yeah,
Specific viewer. Yeah.
like the algorithm and like how like the niche and how you're pushing those ads. So yeah.
Yeah. What's the biggest goal you haven't accomplished yet?
I would say, damn, that's a good question.
Mm.
The I would say honestly, like 1 million subscribers is my goal
Yeah.
on YouTube, but I hate to say that like I hate to do like a number goal for that question.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
number goals kind of get you in trouble. So I would say wait, what was it? One goal that I haven't reached yet?
Yeah.
I would just say like telling the best stories on on a digital platform, like telling the best stories. Like that's my goal.
Okay.
Honestly. Like
Yeah.
it's like telling really good stories and optimizing them for that specific platform. For me,
Mhm.
YouTube is like my favorite platform.
Yeah.
So I would say YouTube, just making the best YouTube videos out there, and
Yeah.
that's really like the biggest goal for me. So
Absolutely. Well, now we're gonna do rapid fire, which is like quick question, quick answer.
okay.
All right. Toughest matchup at Stevens.
My teammate or like the
Just like you're like a rivalry against a team.
oh okay yeah. So Steven's biggest rival, like hardest matchup,
Yeah.
is definitely Tufts.
Tough.
We
Okay.
play Tufts every year. Yeah, we never
Yeah.
beat them in my career, but yeah, Tufts is definitely
Tough.
there. the benchmark for Division III lacrosse. So
Okay.
that's true.
Fielder box.
Depends on when you asked me, but when I was like a sophomore, junior, I really fell in love with box. But now I would say field. Yeah.
Okay. Best college lacrosse player you've ever watched.
On TV or live?
Live.
Live, Pat Spencer. I was
Okay.
old enough
Yeah.
to watch him when I was like your age because my sister
Yeah.
was in Loyola, Maryland.
Yeah.
Pat Spencer is definitely they were playing Virginia, and he just went off like. And I also watched him play Rutgers too. I loved Pat Spencer, so
Yeah.
definitely him.
Absolutely. Best follow in lacrosse. Like,
Best follow,
yeah.
like social media.
Yeah.
I say myself.
Okay.
I'll say myself, but I'll give it to all the boys. Lax Guy Scotty. I'll give
Yeah.
it to Connor Eck. I'll give it to Pelkey. I'll give it to
Okay.
all the boys. I'll give it to all the boys. So I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Best lacrosse brand.
Maverick because they
Maverick.
sponsored me my senior year, and I was super fortunate to have them.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
that's a PR answer
Okay. Best college uniform.
that we've played, or
That
just
yeah, that you've played or just in general. It's either.
I got to give it to the Stevens black mesh, black shorts, black helmet.
Okay.
I like those. I like those.
Okay. One player you'd want on your team for one game for hackies.
For hackies,
Yeah.
uh, that's a good question. Can I give it to like any player, dead or not
Yeah.
alive, but playing or not playing?
Yeah. It can be
I
anyone.
mean, Casey Powell, it would have to be, right? Because he was like so creative.
Right.
I would give it
Um. Okay. One creator you'd love to collab with.
that I haven't yet.
Yeah.
On my like bucket list, it'd be like Jesse James West, but like crazy, like high, and probably not ever happening, Mr.
Yeah.
Beast.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, yeah.
Um. Who takes longer to get the perfect shot? You or Mitchell?
In shot lacrosse or shot for shooting like video?
Shot in lacrosse.
Okay. I don't know. It depends. Maybe me. Depends on the day.
Okay.
Depends on the day.
Viral video or game-winning goal?
Ooh, how viral and how important is the game? You gotta
Okay, so you're gonna get like 5 million views, or
on
it's the
YouTube.
on YouTube, or the D3 championship game.
Oh, D3 championship, 100%.
Okay,
Because I would say
okay,
that I could be able to do the 5 million views later.
okay, yeah,
So
for
I would
sure.
say, yeah, D3 championship because that's something that was like that'd be insane.
Yeah, if you could only make one type of content for the rest of your career, what would it be?
Ooh, like I would say honestly, like high level investigation, like documentary type videos. I love that.
Okay, yeah,
So
yeah, I
those
like
type
this too
of
for
videos
sure. Yeah. Most embarrassing you've done and for like on live camera that you've posted.
that I posted.
Or not posted, but like you were going through the editing and you saw like most embarrassing thing.
Most embarrassing thing. I don't know. I probably gotta say just like doing stuff with my friends that like is just stupid, saying dumb stuff and stuff like
Okay.
that. Nothing really comes to mind, but there's
Yeah.
definitely a lot of instances where I'm looking in the editor and I'm like, wow, this cannot go on the internet.
Yeah. What's one lacrosse opinion that you would get roasted for in the comments?
Um, mm, lacrosse opinion. I would say eye black is not very cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That I would think that's valid at some points. Like I don't wear eye black regularly, but like if it's a big game, I gotta throw it on because my whole team is, so
Okay.
gotta throw it on.
That then I'll give you that. But when I see
Okay.
kids doing eye black at the summer tournaments, that's when I'm like, this is too much.
Yeah.
So
Um, well, that's all I got. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. It was awesome.
absolutely, absolutely. I'll put in the good word for some of the creators. All right.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And, you have a great night. And I'd love to keep in touch. And I'll
Yeah.
send you some of my stuff for sure.
Let's go. Yeah,
All
excited for
right.
that. And you can invite me to collab on the YouTube
All
video.
right.
I'll give you the information, but you can collab with my podcast.
Okay.
And that I think
Yeah.
it'll end up working out. And yeah, dude, good luck with school this year.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Really appreciate it. Have a great one.
Thank you, bro.
All
Peace,
right.
guys.
See ya.
See ya.